Great pleasure in introducing today's guest speaker, Mr. Venkat Ramesh. He did his graduation in BE Mechanical Engineering from VTU and postgraduate in Logistics and Supply Chain Management from IIMM and MBA in Finance from MKU. Is having more than 20 years of professional experience in working in reputed MNCs. He is a certified in Sigma Green Belt, Lean Manufacturing, and lead auditor for Quality Management System. His articles were published in national and international journals. He is a renowned speaker and has been invited by reputed institutions to address student, faculty, and industry professionals. He has also received various appreciation for his generous effort in sharing his knowledge and expertise. He is appreciated by Director of MSME, President of Electronic City Industrial Association, UASB, Director of Extension. I'm grateful to Mr. Venkat Ramesh for accepting our invitation and coming forward to share his knowledge with us on supply chain management for agri startups. I'm pleased to welcome Mr. Venkat Ramesh
Right.
to the gathering.
Good morning, madam. Good morning, everyone. Thank you, madam, for this wonderful introduction, and I welcome you all. The topic is on the supply chain management for startups. So I will have a agenda on this one. I'm going to present on that one, and if you have any questions or anything to be discussed, we'll take it up at the end. So, to give you a background on this one, see, a agricultural supply chain management has got a very big role into play. I hope I'm audible to all of you. It's clear, right? Slides are
Yes, sir.
visible and my voice is audible. Okay, fantastic. Thank you, thank you. Uh, yeah. So, in agricultural supply chain management, next slide, madam. We have an agenda where we are going to discuss on the introduction of supply chain management. Agenda, next slide, please. Introduction of supply chain management, wherein we are going to see what is supply chain management overall, and what are the different elements of supply chain management, and why supply chain management is very important for success of any business. Then we will see what are the opportunities for startups in agri sector, what are the new upcoming available opportunities, and what are the support systems we need on that one. And technology in agri supply chain management, what are the upcoming new technologies we have got in supply chain management. And then we finally will see what are the initiatives and supports and schemes the government is providing for the agripreneurs or for the agri startups. Next one. So, in an overview, supply chain management is nothing but the network of organization, people, and resources involved in moving products from farm to the table. So, in a nutshell, it usually is about startups, suppliers, factory, distribution, retail, and customers. But in the holistic approach, in a practical way, if you see, we have got a huge players to play their roles in the supply chain management. So in that, the inputs that we get from the industries people, and then materials, the inputs that goes in the producers. Okay, so everybody starting from the inputs to the farmer, producer, and then it goes to the value addition or for the processors. It can go to the supplier for further for primary processing or for secondary processing. Then it goes to factories for any value additions. For example, hello, voice is audible, no? Yogini Romi, voice is
Yes, yes.
audible to
For
you?
me, it's audible. What about other participants? Is it audible?
Okay, fine. In case if you have any challenge, please put it on comment, or please stop me. I'll address that one. Yeah, yeah. Previous slide, madam. Previous slide. Supply chain management. Yeah, please. Thank you. So, in supply chain management, no, we are talking about how important supply chain management is for the success of any business, because entire thing starting for the movement of any material, either it is in the consumption to the retailers in primary form or in the secondary form, the role of supply chain or SCM management is very, very crucial. Suppliers can be, where they just do the sorting, cleaning, grading of the grains and send it. And if it is into the milk productions, they do value added products like a proper cheese, paneer, those kind of kova and those kind of thing. And if it is into the meat productions, the frozen or the chilled meats, and then the secondary processing, and so on and so forth, from either from supply or from factories, the processed ones, it comes to distribution. From the distributor it goes to the smaller retailers, and from retailers to the end consumers, or to the consumers. Okay, so this is in nutshell how a supply chain works, that is the movement of material from one place to another place with or without a value addition. A second thing is the fund flow happens in a reverse way. From retail, from end consumer it goes to retailer. From retailer the money gets paid to distributor. From distributor to factory to supplier, and finally it reaches to the farmer, who is the producer. Okay, in the next slide we'll see the key aspects of the supply chain management. See, we have a different players to play in the supply chain management. For any startup organization, you got to build the supply chain process in a very robust form from the beginning itself. That's where the company's foundation lies in. In supply chain management for 3PL, it should be flexible to take resilient and data-driven supply chain management for all your decision. And the non-value added activities can be outsourced. For example, logistics is a non-core function for your organization that can be outsourced to 3PL, that is third-party logistics provider.
Yes,
And
Ronald.
similarly,
Yes.
similarly other elements also which you feel is a non-core functional things that can be outsourced for the third party to take care of that one, and your focus will be on your core strength areas. And with respect to the technologies, now it's coming up, for example, data driven IoT technologies and many other technologies which are available, that can be enabled for you to foster the businesses. And please focus on end-to-end visibility, demand forecasting, diversifying supplies to mitigate risk, and ensuring scalability and efficient effective operations. These are some of the things that any startup company should initially focus upon. And for startups to build career opportunities in supply chain management in agri sector, there are huge opportunities potentials available. Either you can grow your businesses in domestic form, that is within India, or you can also think of exports. When you are doing for exports, you need to concentrate on certain primary things like profiling of the country, the benefits the government is providing, export opportunities. And when you are looking for identification or shortlisting of the countries where you want to export agri products, please focus upon bilateral trade agreements. That's the place where you get lot of import export benefits. Whenever India has got any bilateral trade agreements with any other country in the world, to try to focus markets on those countries, because that already have trade agreements, and then it's going to give added benefits, such as the import exemption or export exemptions, the value added products. This kind of technology transfers, this kind of benefits can be availed. So what are the key certain key components for supply chain management? First thing is you got to have integration with the technology, whether it could be AI. Nowadays every element and every sector has got enablement of artificial intelligence, where it can be used in multiple ways. Some companies may use it for demand forecasting, and some companies may use it for inventory management. Technology is available for everyone, and the latest updation to the technology is the blockchain technology, empowered with the artificial intelligence. So both blockchain technology and AI, the integration of that one, really going to help you to build a robust supply chain for your organization. Strategic partnership: build a strong relationship with your vendors, consumers, distributors, and retailers. And if you are doing any business with the exports, with the buyer companies, because strategic partnership and collaborative approach, those are the two driving forces to take your businesses to the next level. Please ensure that you have a flexible logistics. Whenever it is with respect to the perishable goods, you got to be very strong on the logistics aspect, especially the cold storages, reefer vehicles, and then the required infrastructure for the movement of material in the right temperature, at the in a controlled temperature, to the location in a right time. Data driven decisions will help you to make better decision choices, because the chances of having any wrong decisions could be avoided in that one. And you will be able to take a better good decisions, because it is data driven decisions proven to be more successful than the non data driven. Scalability: see, you might start your business as small as of now, but going forward you will be having vision that where you want to take your businesses to the next level. So scalability, please keep it in mind that whenever the any product you choose or any line of business you make, the scalability factor should be considered at the initial stage itself, so that you have better opportunities and chances to build a foundation where your businesses can scale to the next level. Next slide. See some of the common pitfalls that a startup company should avoid in the supply in building a robust supply chain management for your organization. Kindly ignoring the need for need for transparency. Nowadays, the more transparency you have got in supply chains, the more trust it helps in building. And every other country wants to have an end-to-end transparency for the movement of articles. I'll just give an example. For example, now upcoming is mango season is coming. See, for US and UK, they have got a blockchain technology where they can trace the farms of the mangoes where it is grown in India, the consumption that is happening in US. So the different kinds of the mangoes, it undergoes gamma radiation before it is exported to the US, and some other companies need for hot water bath treatment. Some require only steam treatment for the mangoes to be exported to the different countries. So we got to have transparency, and then a tracing back to the origin. The tracing back to the origin. These two important should be considered. Underestimating the importance of returns management, reverse logistics. See, when if the customer is not happy with your product or with your services, then obviously the customer has got every right to return the product. So the return logistics should be planned in the beginning stage itself when you're building the supply chain management for your organization, so that the reverse logistics is taken care. Otherwise, there is a chance that you may lose the customer. Failing to create or having a weak risk management strategy. So you got to foresee what are the kinds of challenges that you are going to get into the businesses once you are there in this whatever the stream of business you are in. You got to have a robust risk management strategies to overcome those risks. Otherwise, if the risks are not overcome, you lose the confidence of the customers. Implementation strategy, first thing is a scenario planning. First, you do this scoping, production capacity, and supply chain scenarios. Do the scoping of the businesses that what you wanted to do, and evaluate the opportunities and the criteria that you have set for the evaluation of the businesses. Sustainability is a buzzword nowadays. You are seeing in every organization that how your supply chain is sustainable enough, facing having litigation plans to face any kind of risk. With that sustainability factor, you will be able to scale up your businesses, and also bring confidence to the customers that yes, your supply chain is sustainable for any kind of no, atmospheric natures, different natures that it can go, different geographies it can go, and product availability, packaging, logistics cost, everything needs to be considered when looking for the sustainability. At the same time, you should also ensure that there is a minimum risk, minimum impact that you are throwing on the earth or to the people that in the process of conversions or value additions from product A to product B. Proactive management, analyze supply chain data to anticipate and address disruption before they can occur. Nowadays, with the implementation of artificial intelligence and blockchain technologies, you have got a lot of advanced tools where you can analyze different scenarios and prepare a risk mitigation plan before any disruptions that can occur for. In next one. Yeah, next slide please. Yeah, opportunities for startups in agri businesses. See, there are huge opportunities that are available for the startups to in agri businesses, and if you can blend with the technology and adopt right supply chain technologies for that one, and make your business as a sustainable one, then you have got a huge potential opportunities for the businesses and the startups in the agriculture sector especially. The key areas include precision agriculture with the help of drones and internet of things and artificial intelligence. Precision agriculture is one segment where no, within a given limited field that you can get a higher yield. Then you also have smart farming. Hydroponics is one such example, and vertical farming is one such example, because nowadays lot of microgreens are being grown in using hydroponics. Tomatoes are cherry tomatoes especially are grown using hydroponics, and green leafy vegetables are grown in vertical farming. There are a lot of opportunities, and still the segment is growing. And any of these exotic fruits and vegetables that are grown in closed conditioned atmospheres using vertical farmings, agri fintech, digital payments. Nowadays, everything is digitalized, and all the payments that happens through in various modes, either it could be UPI or any other forms, it happens through in digital payments. So agri fintech is one such opportunity that somebody can think of as a startup to have a agri business. And then farm to table supply chain solutions. So a company can provide a solution, for example, cold solutions or supply chain solution for cold storages for any perishable movement that happens from farm to field. So before it reaches to the end consumers during the season time, we have to procure and store it in the cold storages, so that it can be, the product can be made available throughout the year or whenever it is required during the off season also. So for that, somebody can specialize in the cold chain solutions for some of the products. For example, some can specialize on fruits and vegetables, and some can specialize on meat. No, there are different elements that are available. So where one can do a expertise in the cold storage solutions, and and can start up a business from there. There is a high potential niche included input retailing, equipment renting, and agri-biotech. See, for doing agricultures, there are big machineries that are required. For example, harvesting machineries, polishing machineries, and then pulverizers. So there are a lot of grinding machineries. There are a lot of machineries that are available. Not every farmer in India can afford for the purchase of the equipments. So somebody interested in agri business, they can open up on a rental equipment businesses for the supply chain equipments. That also has got a big supply chain things. The one can look into. That's a huge potential business that's available. Then key high growth areas for agri startups: precision agriculture using Internet of Things sensors and soil mode drones for monitoring, spraying, and AI for predictive analytics on crop health and disease. See, nowadays, earlier days, people used to manually do the spraying of all chemicals. That was very hazardous with respect to health point of view. But nowadays, no, using drone technologies in India also we have already started. But if you look into Australia and US, Brazil, and all, they have got a huge hectares of agricultural land, and they use drone technology for spraying of the chemicals and pesticides that is needed for the crop protection. And similarly, using IoT sensors, we can find out what is the moisture level of the soil, and when the irrigation should be provided. And then you can using artificial intelligence, you can also see if there are any health that is happening with the help of only digital photos. If you can upload the photos, there are experts who can tell that what is the disease the plant is undergoing or the crop is undergoing, and what preventive measures to be taken so that the field can be protected. To that extent, the technologies are available. And some startups who are really interested in getting into the tech world of agribusiness in supply chain management, there's a huge opportunity in precision agriculture. And second one is on smart farming solutions, developing hydroponic systems, vertical farming startups, and increase production in limited spaces. If somebody has got land constraint, or if the cost of real estate is too high and they are not able to afford for huge land parcels, then at least with the available land, either they can go for hydroponics or they can go for vertical farming. And these two are for the last 10 years, it's a growing segment in India. And of course, in foreign countries, these developed countries like the US and UK, it's already taken a shape. But now in India, for the last 10 years, we are seeing there is a growth in the hydroponic system and vertical farming, especially green leafy vegetables, exotics vegetables, and then cherry tomatoes. And then you have even medicinal value plants and crops are also grown using vertical farming in a closed conditioned environment. So that the yield is high. And the second thing is easy to protect and easy to detect if there is any chances of diseases that the crop is having or getting affected. Then we can take the appropriate solutions and measures before any further damage can occur. Next slide, please. Opportunities, again, farming as a service. How many of you really know FASS? Can somebody thumbs up if you have heard of a farming as a service? See, this is all. Yeah, good, Mr. Nagaraj. Thank you so much. Offering machinery rental equipment. See, this is there in developed countries where they buy the machineries agriculture equipments and big machineries, and they rent it during the season time, and during off season time they move it to the different state or different locations. For example, somebody has purchased a machinery, maybe they can use it in different parts of Karnataka during the season times. This as a service, it has got a huge potential. Somebody can rent tractor as a service, somebody can rent harvesting machine as a service, somebody can rent turmeric polish, fingers polishing as a machinery as a service. So there are a lot of farming as a service, there are a lot of equipment renting opportunities that are available. It is also a good business, and people are also making good profits on that. Especially I've seen in many places in Maharashtra and all, in Nasik and other places where they rent this tractors and machineries, and they are also making good decent profit margins on that one. And you also get a lot of government subsidies also. And again, there are two types of schemes and subsidies that are available. In the further slides we are going to see, one is from the state perspective and another from the central government perspective. Yeah, and you also might have seen farmer producing organization. Farmers as in a group of people join together and form the organization. And from the farmer producer organizations, state government and central government, lot of schemes and benefits are also there that we are going to discuss in the further slides. And then supply chain and market linkages. See, one who is good at the technology, they can create e-commerce platforms for farmers to sell their products directly to the consumers, and somebody can improve upon warehousing, storage, and streamline logistics. See, tech savvy people who are interested in building platforms for technologies, they can create a e-commerce platforms where the consumer in urban areas can place the orders, and the farmer from rural areas can ship the materials. Now we also have lot of logistics, third party logistics partners. For example, it could be Denso, or it could be through even the retail e-commerce platforms like you have this Amazon, Flipkart, and all. So where you can place your products, and the consumers makes the choices of your products, and it can be shipped through via the third party logistics. So farmer doesn't have to leave his field really. He only has to concentrate on his core area for producing good quality products, whether it is fruits and vegetables, or any other things, spices, anything, that he has to only concentrate on his core area of producing good quality products. And there are delivery partners available, and there are e-commerce platforms available. Through those platforms he can sell his produces. Agri fintech, again, payments and creating credit profiles to farmers to facilitate lending. See, every bank, though government of India makes a lot of schemes, but again, when the farmer goes to the bank, no, so they'll ask for a lot of documents which farmer, whether he's educated or not, he may not be fully aware of what documentations are needed. So somebody can make a career in building the profiles of the farmers and creating a credit worthiness profiles, so that he can avail the suitable loans, or the subsidies or the schemes that either the state government or the central government is providing. So somebody can make career, especially the youngsters who have agri graduates with the commerce background and all. So they can work on these things. So they can work with some of the FPOs in creating a credit worthiness of that FPOs, and making them qualified for availing the loans and schemes that the state government or the central government is providing. Then agri-biotech and inputs, developing sustainable high quality seeds, organic fertilizers, and pest management solutions. See, seeds is a huge business in India. Getting right quality seeds, and are now again agriculture is moving to the olden days of Vedic sciences, where organic fertilizers are being encouraged, organic farming is being encouraged, and government also gives lot of schemes and subsidies that are available for the organic agriculture. And also the price we can get premium pricing. And even if somebody is interested in exporting, government of India is also encouraging for the export of organic produce. So that also has got a huge vast scope for any startups to look into those aspects as well. So these are some of the opportunities for startups in agri businesses, especially related to supply chain management. And there are many other topics as well, but in the interest of the time, these are the key areas where it is easy to start and easy to run the businesses. But if you go in depth on that one, depending upon the individual's choices, they can select the area of their interest, and try to build an organization, as have a startup of the business organization in that. And please try to avail what are the schemes and subsidies and the loans that either state government or central government is providing, because the governments are encouraging in the farming segment in a very very large way, so that India has got a huge potential of agri exports. Next slide please. Yeah. So, what are the challenges in agri supply chain? See, in India, we do not own huge parcels of lands like in foreign countries, Australia. So, where they about 100 hectares of land they do common farming, and the US, Brazil, those
Sorry to
kind of.
interrupt you, Dr. Venkatesh. Can I ask a question, please?
Yeah, yeah, please, sir.
FAS, is it working in Karnataka?
Yes, yes, it is there, sir.
Okay.
In Ballari, Bagalkot, it is happening, because if you see Belgaum and all those places, no Belgaum person who is having the equipment, he is doing it in Nasik as well as in Belgaum, because Belgaum is the border for Maharashtra. In both the states, he is operating. Similarly, somebody is there in Hoskote, he is doing business in Hoskote as well as in Hosur, because Hoskote and Hosur, Malur, all these are nearby belts for him. It is
Thank,
happening.
yeah, thank you. Thank you.
And the government is also giving subsidies, up to 30% of the subsidies for the farmers, and up to 50% of the subsidy for the woman farmer.
Sir, one more.
Sir, could you share the name of that vendor in the Hoskote or in other
Yeah, yeah,
places in
I'll mail it to you, sir. Yes, yes, I'll send it to you. I'll send the
Thank you.
details and contact number to you. Yeah.
You can share it
Yeah,
to me,
thank
sir.
you.
I'll share it in the group.
Sure, sure,
Or
madam.
you
Sure,
can put
sure.
it in the chat, whichever is convenient.
I'll mail you, madam. Whatever the questions they're asking, no, that I'll
Mm.
send the details to you. You can share it with the respective participants. No problem.
So
Fine.
one more, sir,
Yeah, yeah,
related to the
madam.
again farm as a service. So for Ballari district, where can I get the details of requirements and all?
Madam, KVK, madam, if you can approach to the KVK, and also there is a agri marketing division is there, Karnataka government. So if you can approach, I think there I'll share the number also. Mr. Nagendra is there. So every district has got a agri marketing division, or if you can go to any mandis also, no APMC mandis. There
Uh-huh.
also government of Karnataka representative will be there who is from marketing division. If you can approach, they will give you the application forms, and they will guide you which bank to approach, how to take it for, what are the schemes that are available. That is their responsibilities to support the agripreneurs in whatever the segments they want. So either you can get the contact detail from the respective districts APMC ads, or you can contact the marketing division of the agriculture. That is government of Karnataka.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, madam. See, in fragmented supply chain, what happens? See, if, for example, I'll give you an example. One farmer is having 5 acres, another farmer is having 7 acres, another farmer is having 3 acres, another farmer is having 2 acres. So one person grows vegetables, one person grows fruits, one person puts as a forest trees, one person doesn't grow anything. So in that kind of situations, it is really difficult in the for the farmer. He produces in 2 acres, for example, he produces tomatoes in 2 acres time. For him, he has to do the harvesting, take it to the mandi, transportation cost, and in that particular mandi he doesn't have a bargain power, because he's only having a small yield of 2 acres. And in the 2 acres, whatever the produce he gets, either with the middleman during the auction time, he has to sell at a low price and come back, because he cannot take back the produce, and he doesn't have cold storage facilities. It doesn't have proper network of the transportation infrastructure. So this fragmented supply chain is having its own problems in India, where compared to the developed nations like US, UK, Australia, and all, where they do common crop in about 100 acres. For example, pomegranate is grown in 50 acres. So you have a huge buying, bargaining power with the buyers. You can tell that this is your price, and this at this price you want to sell, and it is good for buyer also, because in one place he get the quantity that he needs for the import, or for the pomegranate juice processing, those kind of things. So a large area, it definitely will help compared to the fragmented supply chain. This is one major bottleneck that we are seeing in supply chain. Then insufficient warehousing and cold storage. Even today, we have very very the kind of produce what we get, no, and compared to that, in the statistics of, even if you take 15% as a losses due to this perishable activity, it is about 68,000 crores annually India is losing, only because of the wastage, because we don't have proper warehousing and cold storage facilities. And logistics issues. See, one is on the road network connectivity, second is on the rail network connectivity. For example, if you want to transport from your producing areas to the neighboring states, we do not have a proper road network and railway network connectivities on that one. Still, even in the remote areas, even a vehicle cannot go. Only even today the people are dependent on bullock carts for the moving their produce from their fields to the nearby towns or to the mandis. And processed foods is still in India. No, we do not have that to that extent what US and UK is having on the processed food markets. The processed food market in US is very huge. It runs in trillions of dollars. But in India, we usually have no pattern of consuming it raw and fresh fruits. Processed food market is still in nascent. Say if somebody wants to build a businesses in processed foods, there is a huge opportunity that is available. And one more thing is with the processed food, since the shelf life of the produce is high, there is a chance that you can also export the processed food markets to the neighboring countries or to the different countries wherever that is needed. For example, if somebody wants to do pomegranate juice, that he can export it to different countries. And somebody wants to do watermelon juice, there is a huge opportunity because watermelon is not available throughout the year. It's a seasonal fruit. And if you can make a value addition of watermelon juice, put it into the cans or to the tins and export it, there is a huge business opportunity that is available. These are only few challenges, but there are many more challenges. But these are the major bottlenecks that we have seen in agri supply chain, especially in India. Next, please. See, if you just take this example, India is the largest producer of fruits, vegetables, milks, spices, meats, millets, coffee, etc. And around 14% of world production F&B that happens only in India. Then you can see the potential of the Indian segment. Processing of F&B is less than 5% only. And see, why? Because we do not have one is on the capabilities front, second is on the infrastructure front. See, only 5% what we are producing is getting converted into processing for in the especially in the fruits and vegetables. The example I have taken fruits and vegetable because it is a highly perishable article, and there is no huge wastage that is happening from the production area to the consumption area. Even if you take a 14 to 15%, it costs about a 68,000 to 70,000 crores per annum. That's the kind of loss no that we are talking about. That's a huge amount for a country like India. And when we have about 14% of the world that we are producing, you just imagine if somebody can get into the processing industry and do the value addition and make an export, there's a huge foreign exchange that we can get from the different countries. So that will obviously help in appreciating our rupee value also. And there's a healthy good product that we can from India, it get produces and get supplies to the rest of the world also. There's a win-win situation for everybody. So this is one segment where I would appreciate if somebody is interested, either youngsters or experienced professionals can look into building a career in processing industry. There is a huge opportunity available because as on that only 5% is getting converted into processing. Supply chain inefficiency is the main challenge because from the inputs to the retailing, there are different stages it has to undergo: production, then procurement and storage, then primary processing, secondary processing, so on and so forth. In between these stages, at every stage, the loss that is happening due to inefficiency of the supply chain that we have in India, and that loss is coming in thousands of crores every year.
What does the processing of F&V less than 5% mean?
That means if a 100 ton if for example 100 tons of pomegranate is being produced, only 5 tons is getting converted into pomegranate juice or pomegranate value added products or dehydrated pomegranate powder. The
Okay.
remaining 95% is goes into the market in as is condition and people consume it freshly. But when there is a surplus production or there's a bulk production that is happening, if we don't have proper cold storages, that is going as a waste because don't have sufficient infrastructure. But if somebody can convert that pomegranate into pomegranate juice and sell it into the export markets, there is a huge potential business opportunity available in that.
Thank you.
Similarly, with the many other kinds of fruits, also watermelon is also one in India. No, huge varieties of watermelons are produced. I think in almost every state, watermelon is getting produced. But what is the conversion ratio we are having? Less than 7%. See, people are not converting watermelon fruit into watermelon juices and getting it either a Tetra pack or bottled or canned. It's not happening to the extent that it should happen. Yeah. Next slide, madam. Post harvest losses and preventive measures. This is one of the no, a very delicate area in supply chain management of the agri producers, where we post harvest losses are high. See, this one supply chain is weak link, thereby losses are there. Processing is low as compared to developed countries, and the reasons are poor access to technologies. Even today, see, technology is a common thing that is available to every country across the globe, but how well we are equipped enough to use the technology for further processing, that's where the question lies. For example, countries like Japan, Germany, US, they are using technologies, and readily they are converting and selling it into the outside markets. We also can do that one, but right now we are not able to do not able to do that. The government is giving lot of encouragement. Government is giving lot of schemes, and even if you want to import certain materials also, government is giving lot of subsidies on that import of materials, so that you can establish these startup companies and give employment opportunities and export your products. Because any agri product you export, no, we get a foreign exchange in that one, and with that foreign exchange there are high chances that we can appreciate the rupee value in the international market. And then limited tech expertise and research capacity. Expectation of utilization of the technologies is also less compared to the other countries, and low production efficiency and high marketing cost. So these are some of the pitfalls, I would say, that it is having post harvest losses compared to the other developed nations. My suggestion would be that see, farmers are putting real hard work and effort in growing the crops. That's where their expertise lies. Once the crop is grown, either they bring it to the market or they take it for the storage. But storage, we have a bottleneck that we don't have proper good cold storage facilities available across the nation in every state. That is one challenge. Second thing is accessing the technology and utilizing that technology to do value addition process and conversions. That is one more challenge. And the third part is once we have done that one, having a skilled labor power. That is also a challenge for us, because we don't have trained people to access the technology, use the technology for value additions and conversions and those kind of things. And other element is awareness on the government scale schemes, awareness on the government providing subsidies, and then awareness on the which market to choose for their product. See, every country will not buy every product from India, so person has to be knowledgeable enough to see that where is actual market for him for his produce, so that he can target the right consumer and get the right price for it. So these are certain things. And institutions like University of Agricultural Sciences, where they are taking initiatives in conducting these kind of sessions, which will where the different experts from different segments will come forward and share their knowledges. So these are some of the forums where people get the awareness and knowledge upon what needs to be done, how to take it forward, when, how to start it, what are the schemes that are available and on. But this has to happen in a very large scale, not limited to only certain segment of people. If it happens in a large scale and this information passes to the grassroots level people, that is the farmers, then hand holding the farmers, and then taking the collective approach of their producers, and again making conversions and exporting it. In that way, it is a win-win situation for the nation as well. For the farmers also, they get a very good price. See, pomegranate, selling 1 kg of pomegranate, a farmer may get 150 rupees. But if he sells 1 liter of pomegranate, no, there is 3 times, 4 times money he can get. And that too, if he can export to countries like US, he gets paid in dollars. When he does the dollar conversion to rupee conversions, it runs in few thousands. So that's a huge money for a farmer. And that's why government has brought in this farmer producer organization, where collectively farmers can come together and sell their producers together, so that they'll have more bargaining power. If they want to do any conversion process, the government is encouraging to do that we call it as a community based services, where no group of people, if they have a common need, government gives those common needs. If somebody says we need a juice making mixer or a pulverizer, so government provides that one, that can be used by 10-20 farmers. So those kind of schemes are also available, but how many people really know about it, what is the awareness level? So that's where we are lacking upon. But coming days, definitely with the youths and all the people coming forward who are showing good interest, people like you who are participating in these kind of forums and wanted to interested to take up career opportunities or build up businesses from the agri based supply chains, there's a huge opportunities that are available, and I'm sure with the coming days the scenario of the India is going to change. Next one. Measures to improve supply chain and its effectiveness. One is on the demand forecasting. See, at some point of time, just I'll take a recent example. A drumstick was sold at 20 rupees per piece. Now the price has come down to 10 rupees per piece. It's 10 rupees and 20 rupees. It's almost 100% price variation, isn't it? So see, when we know that what when the demand is going to come, if we can forecast, basis of the forecast, if we can produce the things, then you will be able to fetch the right price for your produce. Else what happens if everyone starts putting tomatoes? Now the tomatoes price is about a 10 rupees per kg or 15 rupees per kg. If a farmer sells at a 10 rupees per kg, he will not get his inputs cost also. Okay, so the same thing is happening with the many of the other agri producers also. So keeping in mind what exactly the market needs, and the basis of that, if you can make a produce, then you will be able to fetch the right price for your produce. Market clusters, cooperative contract farming and retail chains. See, contract farming is one segment that is booming for the last 15-20 years in India, but it has not scaled up the way it should have been done. In contract farming, again, the big companies like ITC, they have a contract with the farmer saying that you produce these many acres of this crop and we buy from you, and we will give you the input cost for them. The farmer is only thing is,
Sorry to interrupt you,
yeah,
Dr.
please,
Venkat,
please,
please.
please.
See, you gave example of tomato and drumstick, right?
Huh.
Does it mean that we are not doing a proper demand forecasting, or is it an issue due to supply chain issues?
It could be combination of both, sir. My say is, if somebody can make a produce based on the demand forecasting, he'll be able to fetch the right price for his produce.
Mhm. Because this
Almost
tomato example keeps coming up every now and then, right?
See, tomato also. See what happens when the tomato prices should. See, that's a short-term crop actually. And whenever the tomato price crosses 50 rupees per kg, all the farmers says that yes, in my, for example, if somebody is growing brinjal, somebody is growing lady's finger, I have seen practically in farms where he'll cut the farm in halfway through, and then he plants tomato things. One farmer puts that one, his neighbor also puts that one, another person also puts it. And what happens? All the produce comes to the market at one go. When the supply is more, in that one, these agents and these brokers and what they do, they try to bargain and reduce the prices of that one. That's how the price sudden price drop happens in the mandis. Instead of that, if there are cold storage processes available, farmer can store the produce, and whenever the good price is there, he can do. Or else he can go for value addition, for example tomato sauces, ketchups, these kind of value additions. If he does, then he'll be able to, at least he can protect his base price. But since absence of cold storage facilities and knowledge on the processing is lacking, that is why he is forced to sell his produce at a lesser prices in mandi to these local, what we call these agents, brokers, and all those people. This is the scenario that farmers are undergoing nowadays. Hope Mr. Basraj
Yeah,
that clears.
thank you.
Madam, previous slide, madam. One second. So cooperatives. See, one good example of cooperatives is, we all know that Amul, how it has started. They started with a few people of a cow, cow milk, and then curd, paneer. Now you have seen Amul; it is growing international level, and they're making hundreds of crores of businesses in cooperative form. That's a one good example of cooperative farming. Like that, we have also seeing honey, where a cooperative movement is happening in Maharashtra, and we have seen in Uttar Pradesh ghee, superb example. There are different brands of ghees that are having. So there are also cow ghees, no? A group of people come together and they sell it in a common brand, and they are exporting also. And for example, Nandini here in Karnataka, if you take an example, see, that is also cooperative movement. We collect milk from different farmers, and we have value added products like paneer is there, cheese is there, ghee is there, we are selling it on. Like that, no, a group of people can come together and make a cooperative societies, and make a common produce, or make a common value addition of their agri producers and sell it in a collective brand. So you will have a bigger chances of making higher profits. And exports is one such segments where we can promote such kind of things. And customized logistics depending upon the produce, and depending upon the distance, and depending upon the nature of the produce. For example, if it is require reefer vehicle, then you have to go for a cold chain solutions. If it is a normal pulses, grains and all those things, normal vehicle can go. Whether it is a small truckload, big truckload, whether it is a Tata Ace of smaller capacities, based on this one, customization logistics is available. Then government support in electricity, capital subsidy, and other. So these are the supports that government gives. Information system, public private partnership, and again, this is one more important area. See, if there is a public and private partnership together, and if they both can come together, then farmer will definitely get benefited. Why? Because in private segments, public from government is whatever the subsidies, land, real estate, and the construction of the units and all those things. From private sectors, technology adoptions, financial support, market linkages, these things are there. This is already happening in India, but yeah, my suggestion is it should grow to a very big level, public private partnership. For example, if you see Bangalore International Airport, that is built on the public-private partnership. It is running really well. That kind of massive public-private partnership should grow in the agriculture sector also. Then only we will able to export the value-added products to the different companies and grow to the next level. Food parks. See, government of Karnataka is encouraging lot of food parks. In Malur, processing units are there, and Tumkur also a lot of food parks have come up. So food parks needs to be encouraged, and every food park should be designated with something. Some should be designated for processing, some should be designated for cold storage facilities, like that. Wherever the produce is there, depending upon that district or that particular geography, if they develop the food parks suitable to that certain areas, we can have food parks only for the spices. For example, if you see Badge, that is a world famous for its color, right? So if somebody can set up a food park only on the barge, that oleo resins, and then a red chili powder, and the whole chili, that food park can from there itself, people can export to different countries. See, Badge has now become almost world popular, like how Guntur is known for its what you call hotness of the chili. Now Badge is known for its color. Okay, so there are a lot of value additions that is possible. Likewise, Mandia for its jaggery. Okay, and then we have got a cuckoo for coffee estates. So like that, each geography based on the produce that is happening, if the government can make the food parks and encourage those producers, no, that will be really helpful. And the farmers can definitely get benefited from that one. The livelihood of the and the economical status of farmers will certainly improve when these kind of initiatives are being more promoted. Next slide.
ಸರ್
Yeah,
ಸರ್
yeah,
ಒಂದು
please, please.
ಕ್ವಶನ್. ಸೊ ಇವಾಗ ನೀವು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದಾ?
ಕೇಳಿ ಮೇಡಮ್.
ಓಕೆ ಸರ್.
ನನ್ಗಿನ್ನೂ ಸಂತೋಷ ಆಗತ್ತೆ.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸರ್. ಇವಾಗ ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ ಇವಾಗ ತುಂಬಾ ಅವಕಾಶಗಳಿದೆ, ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಅವಕಾಶ ಇದೆ, ರೈತರಿಗೆ ಸಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋ ಅವಕಾಶ ಇದೆ, ದೇಶ ಸೇವೆ ಮಾಡೋ ಅವಕಾಶ ಇದೆ, ಸಬ್ಸಿಡಿಗಳಿದೆ, ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಫೆಸಿಲಿಟೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದೇರ್.
ಹೌದು.
ಇವಾಗ ಒಂದು ಅಂಡ್ ವಿ ನೋ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಏರಿಯಾಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಪರ್ಚುನಿಟೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ? ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಇವಾಗ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇದೆ, ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಇದೆ ನೋಡಿ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ವರ್ಕ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ವರ್ಡ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ಈಗ ನಿನ್ನೆನೋ ಒಂದ್ ಸೆಷನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೇ ತರ ಅವಕಾಶಗಳಿತ್ತು, ಯಾವ ತರ ಫುಡ್ ಗ್ರೇಡ್ ಸೇಫ್ಟಿ, ಯಾವ ತರ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಷನ್ಸ್, ಏನೋ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಏನೇನು, ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್, ಚೆಕ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಟು ಬಿ ರೆಡಿಡ್, ಚೆಕ್ ಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಅಂತಲ್ಲ.
ಸರಿ.
ಇವತ್ತು ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಎರಡು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಇವಾಗ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಹೋಲಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಆಗಿ ಈ ಅವಕಾಶಗಳು ಹೇಗೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದಂತ, ಈಗ ಲೈಕ್ ವೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ದಟ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ನೀವು?
ಮೇಡಮ್,
ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ನಾವು work backwards ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು.
ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಂತಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ VTPC ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಸೆಲ್ ಇದೆ ಮೇಡಮ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರಲ್ಲಿ, ವಿಶ್ವೇಶ್ವರಯ್ಯ ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಪ್ರಮೋಷನ್ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ನೀವು ಏನ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂತ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಒಂದು ನಿರ್ಧಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಬಂದ್ರೆ, ಅವ್ರ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋದಾಗ ಆ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇದೆ, ಯಾವ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಆ ದೇಶಕ್ಕೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನೇನು ಡಾಕ್ಯುಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆ ದೇಶದಲ್ಲಿ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋಂಥ ರಿಕ್ವೈರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಹೇಗಿದೆ, ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಹಿತಿಯನ್ನು ಅವ್ರು ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು VTPC ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ವಿಶ್ವೇಶ್ವರಯ್ಯ ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಪ್ರಮೋಷನ್ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲ್. ಬಹುಶಃ ನಂದಿನಿ ಮೇಡಮ್ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ. ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇದ್ರು ಕೂಡ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಇದೆ, ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ. ನೀವು ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಸಂಪರ್ಕಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಡೀಟೇಲ್ಸ್ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು. ಅವ್ರ ಜಾಬ್ ರೋಲೇ ಅದು. ನೀವು ಈಗ ನಿಮ್ ತರ ಆಸಕ್ತಿ ಇರುವಂತ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳನ್ನ, ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ನ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಎನ್ಕರೇಜ್ ಮಾಡುವಂತದ್ದೇ ಅವ್ರ ಜಾಬ್.
ಸರಿ ಸರ್, ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಮೇಡಮ್. ಈಗ ನಾವು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಚೈನ್
Sir,
ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್.
sorry to interrupt, sir. Is it possible to conclude in another 15 minutes, sir?
ಸರಿ ಮೇಡಮ್, ಪ್ರಯತ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ.
Okay.
ಈಗ ಒಂದು ಕಂಪನಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಸಪ್ಲೈ ಚೈನ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇತ್ತಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನೇನು ಬೆನಿಫಿಟ್ಸ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ನೋಡಿ. So reduction of product losses in transport and storage ಇದೊಂದು primary lossage. See, if you can avoid the losses, no, then your profitability automatically boosts up. Transportations ಅಲ್ಲಿ storages ಅಲ್ಲಿ, this is one of the very gray area. Even today we are losing crores of rupees in that one. Then increase of sales, technology. See, when you start enabling yourself with the technologies, no, you will have an upper hand of winning the things. You got to gain right knowledge for that one and well equipped with the all the process and systems, and from the day one build good process and systems in your organization with respect to supply chain, so that it is robust enough to take to scale up the organization. Transparency in supply chain. Nowadays every country, whatever the products you are exporting, no, whether you can export watermelons or muskmelon or mangoes, pomegranates, whatever you want to export, the countries wants to know the traceability of that one. That's why the blockchain technology has come into picture. With just the scan of the QR code, people will be able to know from which farm of the India, which district of India this produce has come. Then control on the product safety and quality, that's more important. And the productivity improvement and the see productivity improvement in the in the given land itself. How do you improve the productivity of your produce? That's one more important. Whether it vertical farming, the given land is limited, but vertically they can grow to any heights. So that is the improvement in the productivity, because in the given land they itself they are growing to greater extent. End of the day, if you have very good supply chain management, you will have high chances of gaining profitability in your businesses, winning the trust of the consumers, and growing expanding your businesses in different geographies. Next one. An efficient marketing system. See, see, the more important is that the branding of your company, a good at economical way of marketing your system, organic growth. And then your marketing should bring in more demand for your producers. At the same time, you should look out in a reverse way how to reduce the price of your produce. You make your supply chain system so robust enough, so flexible enough, that there are no value addition in every step, and there is no wastage that is happening. And end of the day, you give the good quality product at a lesser price compared to your competitor, so that you will be able to attract more consumers and customers for you. And try to have export orientation in your mind, because nowadays with the growth of the technology, no, the barriers, the international boundary barriers are diminishing. So that you see, from the Amazon itself, there are many people in Mysore and other places, handcraft materials are being exported to UK. So see, a person need not know how to do international cross border logistics. He just has to concentrate on handcraft materials. From that handcraft materials, Amazon guy will come pick up the material, and it's his job to deliver to the customer in US. And finally the person who is producing the handcraft materials is getting very good money. So your marketing system should be such that with minimum investment, minimum expenditure, how you will be able to reach out your product and produce to a bigger level audiences, whether it is within the country or outside the country. And drive the demand for your produce. And work out your supply chain in such a way that your price is lesser than competitors. At the same time, you maintain the quality and then the timeliness of the deliveries of the producers. If you can maintain some 4 or 5 elements on your marketing system, that will really help your company to grow faster and expand in a bigger way. Next. See, some of that I'll just brief on the technologies in the interest of the time. See, IoT, Internet of Things, and sensors being used to check the soil health, and then see what are the irrigation and when the drip irrigation to be provided, and for the control of the pest management. Blockchain is usually used for tracking of your products. For example, if you're into the export markets, with just a QR code, somebody can track from which farms these mangoes or pomegranates or watermelons have grown. And AI and the data analytics, artificial intelligence will analyze in a large amount of data, and they can give a predictive analytics so that you can take a better informed decisions. Drones are used for the no surveillance purposes. One is for surveillance, and second one is for pest spraying purposes. And robots can be used for planting. And China it's already started. In India we have not experimented, but in China for paddy and all, no, robots are being used for planting. And the digital marketplaces, nowadays it is a digital world. You've got lot of platforms available, either in the B2B, that is business to business you can do, or from business to consumers platforms, and you can connect directly with your buyer so that the middleman can be avoided, and you have higher chances of getting better margins for your producers and on products that value additions. Next one. And see, please reduce on the food wastages, because simply it is no, previous slide, madam. Yeah. So, please reduce work out the ways and methods to reduce the food wastages. It's almost 15 to 18% food wastage that is happening. Improve upon the efficiency of your real time visibility for the decision making. Traceability and safety is an important product for the international segments. Improve productivity based on the data driven decisions from AI and crop yields. See, in spite of all these things, some of the challenges what we faced, earlier slides we have discussed that technology such as implementation cost. If you want to implement certain technologies, there's a cost that is involved on that one. And then the complexities means you should have some skilled workforce who can use the technology and bring out some efficiency in your supply chain processes, or bring some value addition to your businesses, so that the usage of technology is helpful in enabling your businesses to the next level. Next one. See, I'll just touch upon some of the government schemes that the government of India is providing. Either it could be state government schemes or central government schemes that are given to the for farmers. One is on the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi, where it gives 6,000 rupees on 3 installment basis for small and marginal farmers. And then Kisan Credit Card is for short-term loans given to purchase seeds, fertilizers, and pesticides. And modified interest subsidy schemes to provide subvention on short-term crop loans. And then we also have, this is on financial schemes, we also have protection schemes in next slide, where crop protection is being done, insurances is being done, encouraged by Karnataka state government. Next slide, madam. On the risk management, Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana provides comprehensive crop insurance against for any natural risk. It has no any floods that has happened, or any no, climatic changes that has happened. So they provide financial support on that one. This is on infrastructure and productive enhancement. Post harvest infrastructure community, for example, if post harvest, if somebody wants to build a warehouses or cold chain systems, so government of India provides a agriculture infrastructure fund. And then for if somebody wants to practice organic agriculture, for that also Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana is there. So these are all different schemes that government of India and the state government is providing to encourage farmers to grow for organic agriculture, common facility building, then crop insurances in case of any natural calamity happens, to protect farmers interest in agriculture. Apart from that, there are a lot of state government and central government schemes are also there. Then if we can overcome supply chain, no, so post harvest, if you can reduce 30 to 40% losses, that's a big advantage for us. And then we need to build a robust cold chain infrastructure. We need to digitize our operations using internet of technology and blockchain, strengthen our farmer producer organizations, and encourage private investment through public private partnerships. So if we can develop our infrastructure and get into digital transformation, strengthen our farmer producer organizations, we need to reform certain old age old policies which are of no interest of today, that needs to be reformed, and bring in more value addition and processing. This is one element, because in India we produce huge quantities, but value addition and processing is very limited to about 5%. That has got a huge potential to grow. And whatever we are having, no, that's businesses we are building, that business should have a sustainability in that one. That means we cannot say that at some point of time we can give the quantity and will not have. There should be consistency in the quality and the quantity, and the business should be sustainable in itself. Then only you'll have a higher chances of scaling up and growing the businesses and expanding the businesses in different geographies. So these initiatives are aimed to transition traditional supply chain into a more transparent, technology driven, and resilient systems. So when we all get into this kind of transformational supply chains in the agri sectors, definitely India will be leading
Venkat sir, I think we have lost you in between. We have some internet issues. Do you have any internet issues? I think you can mute your video and then you can speak still.
Users, and it can become a world leader. And we need to adopt the right technology, have the right. I was speaking about overcoming subdues upon the transport, post harvest losses, and including our robust cold chain, and then encourage our strengthen farmer producer organizations, no. Then there is a huge potential opportunity that is available for India to grow in the agri segments. And people who wanted to have interest and have taken initiatives to have startups in the agri segments, got to have enable the digital transformations, because in today's world, enabling digital technology is very very important. And certain government has to reform certain policies, and bring in more investment in the agri sector from the foreign countries, that is foreign direct investments. And we have to encourage more on the value addition and processing, because it's only about 5 to 6% only we are doing value addition for the whatever the agri produce we are doing. But there is a huge opportunity that we need to go, and whatever the businesses we do, that should be sustainable, so that it can take scale up to the next level and move take the businesses to the different geographies across the globe. If we can strategize ourselves in these 4 5 elements, no, there are huge good potential opportunities for the startups to grow forward. Next one, madam. See, in conclusion, we would like to say in Indian supply chain, perishable value products are at a very, very nascent stage. So there is a huge opportunity for somebody to make a business decision on that one, and do a startups on one. Lot of improvement to be done in India in terms of efficiency, investment to make involved supply chain with the use of technology, collaboration among value chain partners. See, nowadays, individually, it's very difficult to build the organization and take the organization forward. So my suggestion is no a collective people, with like-minded people, no, collectively come together and form an organization, have a common produce, do the value addition. See, if you sell with value addition, there are high chances of getting more margins and more profits. And second thing is, the shelf life of the produce also improves when you do the value additions on that one. So please dream big, and aim to reach different countries with your producers. India is blessed with a lot of good agricultural producers, and very good resources are available. Government is also giving lot of initiatives and encouragement, either it is state government or central government. Technology is available, is one of the element that technology is available. Now this is the right time for somebody to do a startup in agri segment. Build your supply chain robust enough so that you mitigate all the risk, and use the technologies for making decisions, improvisations, and take it forward. And there are a lot of forums are also available, like a VTPC, where you can discuss with the experts, get the right country where the demand is there for your produce and products. So with all these things put around together, definitely you can have a very good bright career in the for the startups in supply chain management in agri sector. So I would like to stop it here. And if you have any questions or anything you want to know further, I'm open for your questions. Next slide. If anybody wants to know further elements on that one, please feel free to ask any questions.
Sir, one question. This is Narendra.
Yes,
So
yes,
what
Narendra.
what is the basic ticket size of investment for setting up the cold storage units? I mean, is there some kind of a minimum investment that we should make?
See,
Trying to get an idea of
if
what.
if you want to run cold storage as a business for yourself, then you can start with 25 lakh onwards. But there are a lot of schemes available. But if you want to start for an FPO kind of thing, then you don't have to do, because government will give you the subsidies needed for that. No, see, Karnataka government will give you the land, and the central government will give you the infrastructure subsidies and the loans required for that one. If you want to run cold storage on your own as a business kind of thing, at least 25 lakhs you should have. If you want to do it as a farmer producing, or it is a common facility that can be availed by many other farmers together in your region or in your district, then there are government schemes available that you can avail.
Thank you, sir.
Good. Any other questions, please?
ಸರ್ ನಮಸ್ತೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಹೆಸರು
ನಮಸ್ತೆ.
ವಿನು ಕಾರ್ತಿಕ್ ಅಂತ. ಸರ್
ಹಾ.
ಆಗ್ಲೇ ನೀವು ಟೊಮೆಟೊ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತಿದ್ರಲ್ಲ, ಈಗ
ಹೌದು.
ನಾವು ಟೊಮೆಟೊ ಬೆಳಿತೀವಿ, ಬಟ್
ಹಾ.
ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಬೆಳಿಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಬಟ್ ಕಾಮನ್ ಫಾರ್ಮರ್ಗೆ ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಯಾವ ತರ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ? ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಯಾವ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ, ಯಾವಾಗ ಬೆಳಿಬೇಕು, ಎಷ್ಟು ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಇದೆ?
ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಅಗ್ರಿ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಒಂದಿದೆ. ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಂಡೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಅವ್ರ ರಿಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟೇಟಿವ್ಸ್ ಕೂತಿರ್ತಾರೆ. ಒಂದು ನಮ್ಮ ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನೀವು ಬರೀ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಸೀಮಿತ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ಕೋಬೇಡಿ. ಈಗ ಕೋಲಾರಿಂದ ಪುಣೆಗೆ ಟೊಮೆಟೊ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ತಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಅದೇ ರೀತಿ ಕೋಲಾರ, ಮುಲ್ಬಾಗ್ಲು ಮತ್ತೆ ಇದು ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಒಂದಿದೆ, ಮದನ್ಪಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ನಾನು ಹೋಗಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಮದನ್ಪಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲಾನು ಕೂಡ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಈ ಕೆಚಪ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡೋರು, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಸಾಸಸ್ ಮಾಡೋರು ಎಲ್ಲ ಖರೀದಿ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ನೀವು ಬರೀ ಟೊಮೆಟೊ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಬರೀ ಮಂಡಿಯಲ್ಲೇ ಮಾರ್ಬೇಕಂತಲ್ಲ, ಕಂಪ್ನೀಸ್ ಜೊತೆ ಟೈ ಅಪ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಕೋಆಪರೇಟಿವ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಅದರಲ್ಲೂ ಒಳ್ಳೆ ಲಾಭದಾಯಕವಾಗಿದೆ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಪ್ರೈಸ್ ಏನೇ ಇದ್ರೂ ಕೂಡ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ರೇಟ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರ್ತಾರೋ ಆ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ರೇಟ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಖಂಡಿತ ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಅದೊಂದು ಅಡ್ವಾಂಟೇಜ್. ಈಗ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ರೇಟ್ಗಳು ಏರತ್ತೆ, ಕೆಳಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಬಟ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ರೇಟ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ನಿಮ್ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಷ್ಟು ಸಾವಿರ ಅಂತ ಇದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸರ್ ಸೇಲ್ ಇಷ್ಟು ಲಕ್ಷ ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ, ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಆದಾಯ ಇಷ್ಟು ಅಂತ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಅಗ್ರಿಕಲ್ಚರ್ ಮಾರ್ಕೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಅಂತ ಒಬ್ಬ ಏಜೆಂಟ್ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ಗವರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ, ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಮಂಡಿಯಲ್ಲೂ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಸಂಪರ್ಕಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಉದಾಹರಣೆಗೆ ಮುಲ್ಬಾಗ್ಲಲ್ಲಿ ರೇಟ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಬಟ್ ಪುಣೆದಲ್ಲಿ ರೇಟ್ ಅಧಿಕವಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು ನೀವು. ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಂದ್ರೆ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ಫ್ರೂಟ್ ಕಂಪನಿಯವರು ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಕೇಳಿರ್ತಾರೆ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಟನ್ಸ್ ಟೊಮೆಟೋಸ್ ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ ಕೆಚಪ್ಗೋ ಸಾಸಸ್ಗೋ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವ್ರನ್ನ ಲಿಂಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಡಿಮ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಫೋರ್ಕಾಸ್ಟಿಂಗು ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಏನ್ ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರುತ್ತೆ. ನೀವು ಅವ್ರನ್ನ